you're not done eating, please continue to eat, but we're going to go ahead and get the program started. I want to thank Beatties again for the great meal tonight. I would like to thank the Chamber Ambassador Club for sponsoring the graduation dinner, and I want to invite Melissa Martinez, the Ambassador Club President, up to speak for a few minutes.
Thank you so much. So I was just going to tell you a little bit about the Chamber Ambassadors Club and a couple reasons why I love to be a Chamber Ambassador and why I'm proud to work with the Chamber. So the Waynesville-St. Robert Chamber of Commerce is the premier business membership organization in Missouri. It has been recognized as a leader amongst chambers in the state and received the Missouri Chamber of the Year Award in 2013. The mission statement of the Waynesville-St. Robert Area Chamber of Commerce is to be the motivating force in advocating, coordinating, leading, and promoting existing and future business development, economic diversity, and tourism. We enhance the quality of life through programs, services, community development, recognition, and pride. The Ambassadors Club is a voluntary group of members who work together to help retain and grow chamber membership, educate members on chamber benefits, and encourage participation in chamber events and programs. So I know a lot of you in here had talked about possibly becoming ambassadors, and I would highly urge you to do that, Amber. So, and one thing that I mentioned to Amber, and I think Cecilia kind of mentioned this too, that you would need the full support of your boss, because a lot of times, you need to be able to be out of the office, you need to be able to attend events. And of course, you definitely want to love this community, because if you're serving for any other reason than your love for your community, it's going to show, and you're just not going to fulfill the role of ambassador that needs to be done. So, so the purpose of the Ambassadors Club, which I kind of told you, but we serve as a liaison between the Chamber, our members, and the greater business community. Ambassadors actively promote the Chamber and the business community, referring prospective members to the Chamber for follow-up, providing assistance to new Chamber members to connect them to the organization, and working with existing members. We greet and introduce new members and guests to chambers. We answer questions about membership and participation, and assist with registration or other activities as requested. Ambassadors work to welcome new members and retain existing members through their efforts as the Chamber. So the mission is to serve our Chamber, our membership, and our community with integrity. That's it in a nutshell. And I found this in our book because I was running late and I didn't have anything to do. I had too much to do. That's what happened. So I was like, okay, I'm going to copy this book and I'm going to highlight it. So there it is, guys. But anyway, sorry, making me laugh. Don't look at me, Laura. Okay, so the benefits of being a Chamber Ambassador: to obtain a good knowledge of Chamber programs and member benefits. You get to meet business leaders for potential business and social contacts. And that has been a really, really good thing for us at the health department, because when I went to the health department, my job was to market it and do the public relations. And it got so much easier the more people that I knew, because I could tell them all the great things going on at the health department, and they would tell somebody else, and they would tell somebody else. So it also helps you obtain an insider's perspective of the business community and exposure to the Chamber business community. So there's two things that I picked out of here that you would need to be an ambassador. There's actually three, but the third one's I made it up myself. Okay. The first one is you must possess a strong desire for community involvement. The second one is you must be a leader and possess skills that will guide your members. And the one I came up with is you must have a servant's heart, because that's what this position requires. So if you were looking at being a volunteer, I would highly urge you to sincerely pray on it. And I would like to read something to you. It's anonymous, but it's called Why Be a Volunteer? It's not for money, it's not for fame, it's not for any personal gain. It's just for love of fellow man, it's just to send a helping hand. It's just to give a tithe of self. That's something you can't buy with wealth. It's not medals won with pride, it's for that feeling deep inside. It's that reward down in your heart, it's that feeling that you've been a part of helping others far and near that makes you be a volunteer. So I'm going to leave this with you. Cecilia asked me if I would tell you what it means, why I became an ambassador, in a nutshell, because I absolutely love Pulaski County and I love to serve. And what it means to be involved in the Chamber, it means that I have an opportunity to to work with like-minded individuals who share my passion to serve the Lord by serving others. And it means having a network of friends, and I have made some tremendous friends, not just through the leadership Pulaski County, but through the ambassador program, which I just love you, Laura. And anyway, it also means having a network of friends that make volunteering so much fun that it never feels like work. And it means having an opportunity to work alongside others to make our little piece of the world the best that it can be. So I want to leave you with a quote from Margaret Mead, who said, "Never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it's the only thing that ever has." Excuse me? Oh, can the ambassadors stand up, please? And every one of these guys are super fun to work with, right, guys?
Thank you, Melissa.
Well, thank you, Melissa.
At this time, we will have our key speaker for the evening, Rick Morris, come up and give us some very good wisdom on being leaders.
Oh my gosh. So Melissa left her phone here. Maybe we could do some selfies. Can you hear me back there, Karen?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm really hard of hearing. So if I start screaming, that's just me anyways. Hey, first of all, just look around the room, seriously. Just look around the room and tell me, is there not a better group? Is this not the greatest group of volunteers, of folks who are here just to make their community just a little better? I mean, I just want to say thank you. So if you could do this, you know, it's fun to get around a group of folks that get it. We were kind of joking at the table earlier about people who get it, right? In the world of leadership, we talk about, does the person have the get it, the want it, and the capacity to really do it right? And you know, there's folks that don't get it. The folks that were pouring out Corona beer, thinking that was the coronavirus, right? Bud Light sales went up. Corona's hurting. Nobody's buying stock in Corona right now, right? I don't think cruises are sailing. Anyways, get it, want it, capacity. So, but tonight, I'm honored to be here at Leadership Pulaski County Class A to a group of folks that get it. I mean, the first thing I wrote on I scratched out some notes, and normally I type them out and then I don't read them, and I get up here and say, oh, I forgot to say that. But the first thing I wrote on here was, wow, when you look at what you guys have accomplished, seriously, just think about what you accomplished, and for me, I consider this a great opportunity to spend a few minutes, and I don't think I'm going to tell you guys much that you guys don't already know, that you guys didn't already do, and that you guys didn't already make an impact. I had a great opportunity to eat some pizza with you in December. I think it was December 13th. We had the lunch and learn, and I love doing that community service lunch because for me and our company, Fort Wood Hotels by Earhart Properties, Melissa.
That's it. Yeah.
Get it? That's a joke Melissa and I have. You know, we're Earhart Properties, and I'm joking. But you know, to have that opportunity to talk about community service to a group of folks that already understand doing something that's not for you. You're not looking for self-recognition. You're doing it because you want to make something better. And I said a quote about make your presence make a difference, right? If your presence doesn't make a difference, your absence won't either. And I'm standing here today and I keep talking about get it. Think of what you guys accomplished, right? So go back to not just the backpack deal that you guys did. Wow. Wow. Think of the impact you made on kids that are, and I'm sorry, I have goosebumps right now just thinking about those kids feeling lost, and some of them had Walmart sacks, some of them had Nothing. Some just hoped they would get something. And you guys didn't just make a few. You said, oh, we can do this. And then, what did you end up? 460? Over 500, right? Who thought that you'd get over 500? But think of the lives that you changed. Think of the lives you're going to change. Not just that generation, but that kid, and when they're adults and productive, and you've changed their lives just by one little thing. And don't think that was small. It's monumental. That's why I say, wow. And then everything you guys touched. You set a bar here, and you kept moving the bar. A lot of times you've heard of the pitcher analogy where in the pros they talk about, how wide home plate is, right? 17 inches in Little League, 17 inches in Babe Ruth, 17 inches in college, all the way up to the pros. And when a guy can't throw the ball across that 17-inch plate, do they make the plate wider? Do they lower the bar? No. Think about what you guys did. You not only threw it across the plate, but you struck them out. Now I'll tell you, you guys continue. I'm in awe, and I'm not saying that cheesy. I'm not just saying it to patronize you guys. When you look at what you guys did, you raise that bar high and you clear it with ease. So then, go back and think about why that happened, and think about this. What makes it possible to do something like that? You believed in it. You believed in what you were doing, right? It made a difference. You knew that if you owned it, and you had a lot of different talents in your class, right? Not everybody had the exact same personality or strengths or talents or connections, but everybody did their part, and you owned it. But most importantly, you had a vision, and you took responsibility. And sometimes you had those obstacles in front of you, but you blew past them, you blew over them, or you went around it, but you didn't take no, did you? And think of what you guys accomplished. I just want to say, when you think of the lives you touched, when you think of the people that you'll forever change, I really, truly hope, seriously, just take a minute and think of that. But 10, 15 years from now, go back and think about that. You're going to forever change a lot of generations. So what's next? Well, let's hold on. Let's talk about the start of this and why you were a part of Leadership Pulaski County, right? Did you think back in August? Well, let's go before August. Let's rewind it just a little more. Were you voluntold? Did you do it because you had thoughts of maybe connecting to something to make your business more advanced? Did you think, oh my gosh, my boss told me I got to be a part of this. I'm just going to go sit, be quiet, and kind of get through this, right? Were you nervous? Think about that first day when you're sitting around in the chamber tourism classroom, right? You're sitting around going, I don't know why I'm here, or I'm getting out of work, so I'm here, it's cool. But just think of the reasons that you're there. But if you had to do it over, would you change that reason? So think about this the next time you're asked to volunteer, or they don't even ask you to volunteer, you just step forward and take charge. You think about, August probably seems like a long time ago to some of you when we really think of the life cycle of Leadership Pulaski County, right? What is that? I'm not really good at math, but I think it's about 8 months, right? See, what's that? Thanks, Vince. Crushed my dreams. Okay, 7 months and 28 days. But seriously, think about who you were and who you are today. And do you really think that you could get better in just that little bit? And then look at your logo. Climbing that stairs, right? That's not just getting to the top, it's getting better. It's not just running by yourself. It's either helping somebody up or getting to the top, right? You're getting better. And hopefully every one of you can say right there today on the 20th of February, that you didn't in your wildest dreams think that you'd be sitting here tonight with this much energy and passion, accomplish what you did, but more importantly, the things that you did to accomplish what you did, and you weren't paid a dime to do it. Think about that. Nobody here was compensated to do what you did, but think of what you did. And you hear it all the time in the world of work. Nobody will do anything without money. You got to pay people. Nobody. We can't get good employees because we can't pay them enough, right? I disagree. I think that in the world of why people do great things, I think they're motivated by a typical classic example of what you guys did right here. You thought about what it was a purpose. You thought about the change that could happen if you accomplished that, and it was your passion to make it happen. And you didn't expect anything in return. Now think about that. Nobody's asking for recognition. Nobody's asking for, look at us. You did it because you wanted to make the change. You did it because the kids that your lives, the kids, the community, the people in this community, you changed their lives. So I just ask you to think about, in the leadership world, what motivates people. So leadership's the art of what? Leadership's the art of getting people to do something by providing purpose, direction, and motivation. It doesn't talk about handing them a bag of money. Sometimes that is a motivation. Sometimes you got to get paid because you got to pay the things that are necessary to live. It's a known necessity. That's one motivation. There's a lot of motivation out there. But without direction, without purpose, you'll never get there. Or you could get there, but you certainly won't get there in the method that you guys did today. You know, I wrote down that you guys are textbook examples, like a watermark example of what making a difference is about. And it would be easy for Cecilia to say, you're going to do this volunteer service project, and you're going to do it, and you're going to get this, and you're going to get it done, and you're going to get it right. You'll do it, and you'll get it done because somebody told you had to do it in order to graduate. You guys elevated the bar. And again, I want to say thanks. So what's next? You guys didn't come this far to go this far, right? Think about it. Think about the relationships you built in this class. Are they professional relationships? Are they personal relationships? Probably both in a lot of ways. Some of you were mentored by others. Some of you helped others professionally and personally in a lot of ways. But think about the connections you now have within your leadership, Pulaski County, within this community of the folks you met that you wouldn't have met, whether you're in a department in some business in some location, whether you're in the service business or you're in an industry where you don't meet a lot of people. Think about the opportunity that leadership Pulaski County had. So I got to think about, in this class with what you guys accomplished, I got to say, okay, so who in this class is going to be the next LPC ambassador? Who in this class is going to be the next chamber ambassador? The next chamber president? The next state representative? The next? Now think about this. If you really want to continue this, I don't think you guys are done, right? Think about this. Take a moment and really think about, where do you want to be 10 years from now? Where do you want to be at the end when you're old and crusty like me? I'm not old. I think I am. But, you know, I think about what this community does and the things that we accomplish as a community of a little town of 4,000 and 4,000 and a hilltop here and a ridge over here. And this community, we combine it, we call it the Waynesville-St. Chamber. But think of all the people and talent that we have in this little community from so many diverse backgrounds. In a community this small, have the perspectives and the lenses of looking at things from different ways, from all over the world. You name another community as strong as this, and you guys made it stronger in the last few months. You know, I do got to say to the chamber team, Cecilia, you know, I tell you this, probably not enough. You guys do a wonderful job. And I'll tell you, I can say this, and I'm a member of more than one chamber, just so you know. Right, Judy? But you know that too. But this is the absolute best chamber, not only in the state, but the best chamber that I've ever been a part of. And I'm proud of what you guys do. So can we give Cecilia and her team But you know, when you talk about leadership, you know, that's a pretty lean organization. Think about it. There's a couple of them there. But they rely on volunteers. And Cecilia knows how to delegate and elevate, not because she's afraid to roll up her sleeves, not because the team not wanting to get involved, but because they know that in order to be successful, it's going to take a team of teams. And the chamber volunteers, there's a lot in here. You know, I'll tell you, I truly appreciate the time you spend, the effort you make, but more importantly, the difference you make. And again, I know you guys don't do it for the pay, right? So I want to say one more thanks to the chamber volunteers and the team. Thanks again for what you guys do. So the last thing I'll say is, you know, the special thing about this community is that we are the home of Fort Leonard Wood. And that's a pretty special thing, because when you look around, some of your spouses are soldiers, sailors, airmen, or Marine. Some of you guys are relatives to some, but think of the people that you serve. Think of what this community is and what we represent. There's, again, I can say it selfishly because I've been around the world. In the 23 years I was in the Army, I saw a lot of communities. But there's none, not more patriotic, there's none. There's none more giving, there's none more understanding of what these young soldiers, sailors, airmen, and Marines do every day in defense of our freedom, so we can do these things. The last thing I'll say is, you know, Leadership Pulaski County Class 8, you guys made a difference. I'm excited to watch in the next few years to see you guys go to that next level. So thank you again. I appreciate the opportunity to be here. Have a great night.
Well, now that Rick has read off my notes, that was my speech. Parts of it was. He didn't really steal them, but we basically were going to say pretty close to the same things. I did share with you guys. Oh, now Laura's like, gotta mark this out. My Sunday school teacher is Representative Steve Lynch, and after you guys all turned in 500 backpacks, I got up and spoke about it to our class. We have about 56 in our Sunday school class every week, and the one thing that I told them is, when God sees a need, He'll bring people to it, and He will provide for that need. But when our people are willing to do the work, He goes above and beyond. And that's, you guys were used by God to do above and beyond. With this leadership class, you guys have all heard me speak several times about leadership, so I'm not going to bore you again. You all know what you need to do. This program is designed to develop, inspire, and motivate the leaders of Pulaski County. And we hope that every one of you take what you have learned over the last 7 months and continue to be leaders in our community. You have many, many opportunities. You learned many, many ways of being volunteers and to be leaders. You may not have been a leader whenever you walked into this program. You may not have thought you were a leader, but you were a leader because you stepped up and did it. But you were given the knowledge that you needed, and each one of you stepped up and have become leaders. So now it's up to you to continue that in our community. Leaders change people's lives. Communities change people's lives. And we have a lot of leaders in this community that help change people's lives. Every one of us can sit here and say, this leader changed my life, and this person changed my life. This person changed my life. And it's all because they stepped up and became a leader that they needed to be. Most importantly, find your inner circle. Inner circles are very important. You're going to be somebody's inner circle, and somebody else will be your inner circle. Keep it tight, and learn from one another. So that's all I'm going to bore you with my speaking. Well, Rick took it all, so I had nothing else left. At this time, I would like to invite Amber Box. She's dying in her seat right there right now. She's like, keep talking, Melissa, keep talking. So I would like to invite you up.
Well, before I get started, I would like Rick to stand up here again, please. So on behalf of Leadership Pulaski County, we want to thank you so much for being our keynote speaker tonight. So we've got a
Hold on.
She wants a picture. And then the great thing is that we did make a donation on your behalf to ASUSA for Wood.
AUSA.
Yes, AUSA.
There we go.
There you go. He knows where it's going.
Thank you.
After you, so.
Well, I truly appreciate that, and certainly the donation to AUSA, the Association of United States Army, they have a Warrior in Need Fund, and the Warrior in Need Fund goes to the soldiers and their family in time of need, and that's typically turned around in about 12 hours from the time that the need is realized in the hands of the family. We don't have a long bureaucratic chain that approves it. It's a quick email, and the post leadership's involved in every single one of those. But more importantly, again, it's quick. It fills the gap for other programs that will follow along and do those things. So thank you, and I truly appreciate it.
Well, good evening, everyone. It is so good to see so much support for our class here tonight. It means so much to each of us that you are here, celebrating our success and our growth. My name is Amber Box, and I have the privilege of being the president of the best class ever, Leadership Pulaski County, Class A. Hey, Cecilia said it. So, honestly, each and every one of my classmates should get to stand up here with me tonight and give a speech. I may have the title of president, but I can assure you that each face sitting there with you tonight deserves to be up here with me. I would like to thank my employer, the City of Waynesville, for giving me this opportunity. But the work must go on, and tonight is City Council, so none of them can attend. But they've been a great support throughout this whole process. I'm grateful for the honor to stand before you all tonight and just chat a little bit about this experience that I've had this last year. I know that many graduation speeches talk about how hard we worked and that we've earned this, but it's definitely hard for me to consider these last 7 months' work because they've been so much fun, and Melissa's gonna make me cry. I knew I was going to. I have made lifelong friends, 8 great